So there's no doubt that electric cars and autonomous driving has become like the it thing in the past couple of years, and Tesla is definitely leading the pack in that retrospect. They are different from the other car manufacturers in the way that they kind of approach their cars. They kind of think of really cool pieces of technology and kind of figure out how to build a car around that technology, where other car manufacturers look and build a car and then try to incorporate some cool technology into it. Now, oddly enough, when some people think of Tesla, they kind of correlate their company with Apple. It's like one or the other. Apple is kind of like the Tesla of electronics, and Tesla is kind of like the Apple of cars. And I can see the similarities between the two companies. If you really think of when the iPhone was first released, it was like the luxury item, the status item that everybody wanted. And now that's a Tesla. It's the status car that everyone wants. Both companies have a really die-hard fan base, and both companies had a unique, shall we say, leader kind of running the entire thing. Now, with all that said, it is kind of strange that after all these years, Apple hasn't made the jump into some kind of car manufacturing other than the Apple Play software they kind of integrate into some of the car brands that are released. Or have they? See, in 2014, Apple actually began work on Project Titan, and that's basically their kind of smart car that they're coming out with. They have about 1,000 experts and engineers working in Cupertino, the secret laboratory where the Apple campus is, and they're all working on developing this Project Titan, which is supposedly Apple's car that's coming out sometimes sooner than you think. You see, in December of 2020, it was confirmed that Apple is indeed still working on a full car, and right now plans to release the vehicle in about 3 to 6 years. Now, some of the tipsters out there are estimating about 2024, but some other experts are saying about 2025 or 2027 the earliest. Ironically, still, that's closer than I would think they are, because they haven't mentioned or talked anything about it, which also kind of makes sense because Apple is a really secretive, very secretive company, to the point where they hate leaks on their current pieces of electronics like the iPhone or the Apple Watch. They hate those leaks, so it would make sense that a huge, tremendously big project like Project Titan is held so tightly under wraps. Now, believe it or not, Apple's actually been holding test driving in California since 2017, and one of the things that they're doing a little bit different with their self-driving cars than Tesla is they're actually using LiDAR. Now, if you don't know what LiDAR is, LiDAR, which basically stands for light detection and ringing, is a remote sensor method that uses light in the form of pulse lasers to measure range. Now, this is a completely different strategy than what Tesla is currently using for their self-driving cars. Tesla's using something called computer vision, which is a combination of machine learning and different cameras to kind of pick up on everything that's around the car, so the car can actually learn and interact with those objects and come to know what those objects are, versus a LiDAR sensor, which is just judging distance and be able to map those objects just a little bit better. The LiDAR sensor kind of makes sense because the LiDAR sensors have been included in some of the other Apple products that we have, like the iPhone, iPad. So it makes sense that Apple's going towards this LiDAR technology because it's something they already have in their labs and is using. So now, one of the biggest difference with computer vision is a field of artificial intelligence. Basically, it trains the computer to interpret and understand the visual world around it. So it's using digital images from cameras and videos, everything that's in the car itself, to kind of add to that deep learning model, and the machine can then kind of accurately sometimes identify specific classes of objects and know how to react to them. And if you've seen some of these self-driving test videos from Tesla, that's like things with now stop signs, or understanding what a pedestrian looks like, or understanding what a car looks like. Now, it's not foolproof because in some of those instances, the car can't really distinguish when a car is parked in a non-parking zone and it doesn't slow down to see that car is being parked. So that machine learning has to kind of think on to fly, where LiDAR is just anticipating something in front of you, judging the distance of it between you and your car, and then being able to react accordingly. So it really does seem like the LiDAR may be a little bit better, but it's something that's not included in Tesla. And as late as last year, Elon Musk has said that LiDAR will never be a portion of their Tesla machines. They're going to be focusing completely on the computer vision. Now, Apple, of course, definitely sees LiDAR as the way to go for their smart cars, but not in its current iteration. See, Apple's held talks with at least 4 different LiDAR suppliers to process a smaller, more affordable, and easier to manufacture LiDAR than what's currently available on the market. That's a lot more bulkier and extremely more expensive. So this is another part where you see Apple doing what Apple always does, taking a piece of technology that already exists and is being used by so many other people, and then conforming it to their Apple needs, shrinking it down, making it work a little bit better, and just making it integrate completely into their ecosystem. That's kind of the Apple formula for everything they've done so far, so why not try it with cars? But of course, without a doubt, making a car is nothing like making a smartphone or a smartwatch. It's a whole other beast, and without a doubt, one of the biggest problems that has been plaguing Tesla ever since they've entered the car market is manufacturing. Getting the quality, getting the build right, getting the speed of getting everything built, getting the shipping down, all of these things, and the cost of just manufacturing and shipping cars can really weigh on a new company. And it's something that, you know, these big boys like Ford or GM and all of them have been doing for so long. It's like second nature to them now. They have all their ducks in a row, that it would make it hard for a newcomer to kind of come into the market and try to compete in any way, shape, or form. Luckily, Apple also has an answer for that. So if you can't beat them, join them is basically Apple's kind of thought on this process, because rumor is that they're planning to partner with Hyundai to manufacture all the Apple cars. The rumor suggests that Hyundai would partner with Apple to basically design and make some particular components for the Apple car, and then be able to bring that affiliate Kia into the mix and provide US production for all Apple cars. So that kind of sews up that manufacturing issue that they would have, because they're partnering with somebody that's already established in the manufacturing of car space. They're going to offer them all their Apple technology. They're going to put their Apple brand on that car. And then you have an Apple car basically driving around with the software that, you know, we all know and love. If there's one thing that Apple does extremely well, bar none, is having their software communicate with each other. So you can actually think of a situation where you have your Apple phone, you wake up in the morning, you grab your phone, you begin your morning routine, your phone knows your schedule, so it then sends a signal over to your Apple car starts up. By the time you're out your door and you're walking close to the car, the door opens up, you sit in the car itself, because everything is so integrated. It begins playing your favorite podcast or your favorite Apple Music playlist, and it's already charted a map to your place of business, avoiding all the traffic using Apple Maps, and fade to black. And it's just a perfect commercial. You can literally just think of it and write it yourself. But will reality equal the commercial? That remains to be seen. Sometimes it really doesn't. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what some more competition in this particular space can do. Personally, I would love to have a Tesla. I would want to buy a Tesla right now, but competition always breeds excellence. So the idea of more companies just getting into the self-driving, autonomous driving, electric car market and becoming a bigger thing, a company like Apple jumping in, a company like Google jumping in, and it's just going to force some of these more traditional car companies to think bigger, to think differently, and that's never a bad thing. Will the Apple car ever see the light of day? Who knows? We'll have to wait a couple of years to see. I do think it's going to see the light of day in some shape or form, and I do look forward to it because it's new technology, and new technology is always fun to see. But anyway, I want to know what you think about this whole new Apple car project. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, just go ahead and comment in the comment section down below the video. I would love to know what you think. And if you're listening to us on your podcast platform of choice, why not come over to YouTube and leave a comment so I know what you thought about this particular episode and this particular topic. And as always, guys, thank you so much. And until next time, make sure you're a smart friend out there. So stay safe and peace out.